Yes, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our meeting this morning. May I get a quick confirmation if you can hear me from your end?
Yes, we can hear.
Yes, we can hear.
Yes, apologies for the couple of minutes that are gone. I had a supplementary exams. As you are aware, there are supplementary exams going on. So I had a paper running from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. I decided to attend to the same in the first 1 hour. And then I think now the other 1 hour, I think, can be taken care of by my colleagues. So I want us to break our meeting into two parts. I want us to break our meeting this morning into two parts. Allow me also to send my condolences to members of the other group. I think that is the group for Hillary, to friends and family members of our departed colleague. I got information, I think, earlier in the week, and I think we had agreed that now we shift the cut to next week, the time we had agreed. Mutwiri, you can confirm it was Tuesday, what time?
Tuesday from 8 a.m.
Tuesday from 8 a.m.
Yes.
Okay, good. Then you will just remind me to ensure that we start on time, because the cut will take 1 hour. So it will be advisable that we start at exactly 8 a.m. So I want us to break down our meeting into two parts. We're going to take around 40 or 45 minutes to do practical exercise number 2. I think is the one that I've shared there. And then we will have a look at, we will switch over to the lecture side, where we will look at the application layer. Okay. Remember last time we'd already looked at the physical layer. We had a detailed coverage of the physical layer. And I said that there are still other 3 or 4 layers in waiting. So after we are done with this lab practical exercise, I would want us to now proceed and have a look at the application layer. So let me just let me just mute members. Okay, good. So I'm going to use a software by the name Cisco Packet Tracer software, and I'm going to show members where you can download it and you can install. So first of all, let me begin by starting the Packet Tracer application, Cisco Packet Tracer. Let me start it. Share all the windows. Trying to, the window I wanted to share is still not visible. I guess it is visible. Is the Cisco Packet Tracer software now visible from your end?
Yes.
Okay, good. So now we usually sign in using one of these. You can sign in using Cisco Networking Academy, or you can sign in using the Cisco Skills for all. Okay. If you want to know more about the same, you just click here. Like if you want to know more about what it means to use this account or this section of Networking Academy, or this one for Skills for All. So for us, let's go for this one, the Networking Academy. So I will click this. Okay. I will click this. Okay. Then usually when you are setting up the Cisco Packet Tracer software for the first time, it will ask you to sign up. So you always need to begin by signing up, okay? So after you've signed up using your email and a password which you will be prompted to create, then those are the same login details that you will need to always log into your account. Okay, so like for my case here, I've used my Gmail account. Okay, then it will ask you to key in the password. I'm not sure whether I can remember my password. Let me try. Yes, so I think I've remembered my password. So after logging in, it will take you here. So are we there? Are we there?
Yes.
Yes, okay, good. So if you want to download the software, let me go to the browser. Let me go to the browser. You can just go to Google, then you type Cisco packet tracer download. You come to Cisco packet tracer download here. Okay. Then, of course, there are different sites where you can download the same. You go for a suitable version, like the version I'm using here. Let me confirm the version that I'm using here. The version is usually not indicated on the version is usually not indicated on the application. Okay, so the version I'm using is Cisco Packet Tracer 8.0.1. I'm using Cisco Packet Tracer 8.0.1. That is the version I'm using. Okay. I repeat, I'm using Cisco Packet Tracer 8.0.1. That is the version I'm using. So if you come here, you can always get the version that you want. Of course, there is a slight difference if you go to the later versions or the earlier versions. But in case you want one that will agree with, if you want one that will agree with the recording I have here for this class, if you want to use the same version that I'm using the Cisco Packet Tracer 8.0.1. Using 8.0.1. So assuming you come here, if you want to maybe download from, say, the Softonic site, I usually like downloading my softwares from the Softonic. So I can come here, come to Softonic. Are you there at Softonic? Sorry, are you seeing the Softonic page where I've gone to?
Yes.
Then you get, like, now you see this is the version I'm using, 8.0.1. This is the one I'm using. Okay, can I make this link available? Can I make it available on the chat? Let me make it available on the chat. I've made it available on the chat. Then you just come here, okay? Then you click this one here. Yeah, the version is 8.0.1. License is free. It only requires you to sign up, but it is free. It only requires you to do what? To sign up, but it is free, okay? Then of course, just check that it is a version that can run on Windows. And when you come and click download here, sorry about that. You can come here, then you click this download, okay? Then it will take you here, okay? It will take you to this page, okay? Of course, there's some information that is available there, okay? There's some information that is available there, okay? Now, download and get started. When you come here, you'll be told Cisco Packet Trace is a powerful tool. Let us help you get started. Select the course that is right for you to learn valuable tips and best practice and download the latest version of Packet Tracer for free, okay? So, of course, there are different things, okay? There are different things there, like exploring networking with Cisco Packet Tracer, okay? This one is getting started with Cisco Packet Tracer. This one is exploring Internet of Things with Cisco Packet Tracer, okay? So it's not a big deal here. It's not a big deal, but maybe let's say that, let's say maybe we want to view here, like getting started with Cisco Packet Tracer. You come here to view this. Okay. Then you will come here, okay? You will come here, like in this case, you can click get started. Okay, you click get started. Okay. Then it will ask you to do what? It will ask you to put your email. Like this one is skills for all with Cisco. Then you put your email here, okay, and password. If you had, like now in my case, I already have email and password, so I will just key in here and here. But if you are coming here for the first time, you come and click this sign up, okay? You come and click what? This sign up. So when you click sign up, okay, when you click sign up, it will ask you about the year of birth and the month of birth. Just approximate, but what they want to confirm here is that you are above 18. So that if you are below 18, then they will not allow you to use certain features from this software because they will treat you as a kid. So basically, you don't necessarily have to be very accurate here, but just approximate. Just put a year there that will ensure that you are above 18, and then you click continue. Okay. Now, assuming that I go back, sorry, sometimes it doesn't allow going back with the other button. So assuming I go back, then again I go back here. I know it might refuse going back. Usually it refuses, okay? But I wanted to go back to select something that is different from, let me go here, let me click here to catalog. Then is it there? That one was skills for all. I wanted to go back to the other one. It really allows us to go back with the other button. Anyway, this one seems to be having so many windows. I'm not sure if I can get the page where I was in. Let me see if I can get the page where I was in. Let me see if I can get it. It really allows someone to go back. Okay, let me relaunch. Sorry about the small interruption in my internet connectivity. So you can come back here. The other one I'd gone to getting started with Cisco Packet Tracer. Suppose you come to exploring networking with Cisco Packet Tracer. So you come and click here, view course. Okay. Then you come here, click get started. Then it will again take you here. You do what? You put your email and password if you had signed up before. If you had not signed up before, you come here, you click. This one, don't have an account, sign up. Okay. Then you put a year of birth and a month that will ensure you are above 18. Then you click what? You click continue. So when you do that, it will allow you to do what? It will allow you to set your email address and password, and then it will allow you to do what? To download the software. When you download the software, it will look like, let me see if I have it somewhere. Let me see. It will allow you to download, like now you can download the Cisco Packet Tracer 8.0.1, okay? After you have downloaded, then you do what? You install, okay? After you have downloaded, then you install. So that way you will now have this application, which you see I have opened here. You will now have the Cisco Packet what? Packet Tracer. So it is the one that I want us to use for lab practical exercise number 2 and lab practical exercise number 3. So quickly, I can go back to the lab document. So I can share the lab document. Okay. We are looking at lab practice exercise number 2, and the title is on cabling a simple network. So the objectives are to develop understanding of the basic functions of the packet tracer. At least we just have to, we want to try and learn how to use a few tools or areas or sections within the packet tracer software. Then to create a simple network using 2 hosts, and then to observe the importance of selecting the right type of cable to connect the personal computers. Okay, so we have 3 specific objectives here. Objective number 1, familiarization with packet tracer. Number 2, building the simple network. Number 3, checking on the impact or the effect of the communication link or the physical link between 2 devices in a network. Okay? So let's begin with step number 1. Okay. So create a network diagram with what? With 2 PCs. Okay, so step number 1 is saying at the bottom left-hand corner of the packet tracer screen, there are 9 icons displayed, which represent device categories or groups such as routers. We already know what routers are, switches or end devices. Okay, so you move your cursor over the device categories to show the name of the category in the box centered between the rows of devices. To select a device, first select the device category, after which the options within that category will appear in the box next to the category listings. Select the device option that is required. Okay, select the device option that is required. Okay, basically, what that statement is saying, if you go to packet tracer, if you go to what? To packet tracer, okay, you will see here, do you see the bottom left corner here? Is the bottom left corner, are you seeing it? Are you seeing it?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yes.
you just hover around here. Like if you come here, these are network devices. So when you click, the network devices will appear here. So all these are network devices. Like if you click here, this one is a network device, 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 a network device. And you can always scroll here. So all those are network what? Devices, okay? When you come here, these are end devices. When you click end devices, you'll see PC, laptop, server. This one is Meraki server, network controller, printer. This one is IP phone, voice over internet protocol device. This one is an analog phone. It's a TV, tablet, smartphone. And you can scroll here. You see the generic what? Wireless end device, generic wired device, and a sniffer. So have you seen those components there? Have you seen the components there?
Yes.
Yes, if you want, of course, there are more components here. Okay, these are end devices. Okay, these are components. When you come here, these are connections. So if you want different types of connections, if you want to change a connection, you can come and pick the connection here. Like this one is, if you want to automatically choose what? A connection type. Wrong connection type will not allow data to be transmitted. We have to select the correct what? Connection type. If you come here, this is console. If you come here, this is copper straight through. This one is copper crossover. This one is fiber. This one is phone. This one is coaxial cable. Okay. This one here is serial data communication equipment. You remember the DCE and the DTE, the data transmitter or data transmission equipment and data communication equipment. There's also data receiver equipment, but basically we have the DCE data communication equipment and the DTE data terminal what? Equipment. Like you see this DTE data terminal what? Equipment. And this one, of course, data communication what? Equipment. Data terminal equipment, okay, DTE, we had already looked at the function of that. Even data communication equipment, we had already looked at the function of that earlier on. This one is octal. This one is Internet of Things, custom cable. This one is USB cable. And if you scroll here, I think that's the last one, that's USB cable. If you want miscellaneous, these are additional what? These are additional components. There are some which you may have to go to the manual. You might have to go to the Cisco manual for packet tracer, or you go to the internet to check the part number, what the name is. You know, there are some which are just given in terms of values or numbers which are not easy to store in memory. Okay. Okay. So sometimes you may need to consult the internet, like this wireless laptop. Okay. This is a wireless PC, okay? But sometimes you drag and bring it. If you drag and bring it there, it will tell you the name. Like this one is a router. I'm not sure, is the pop-up visible from your end?
Yes.
Yes.
It is
Yes.
visible from your end. So sometimes when you drag the component and put it on the design area there, it will give you now the the details. It will give you the details. There's still some content which we have not done here, like we've not done the IPv4 and IPv6 in details, but we had already introduced IPv4. The part of IPv4 which I have not taught is subnetting, okay? Like, you know, when you have a main IP address, there are subnet, okay, masks which you can create out of it, okay? So we will do subnetting later on. I think probably, I'm not sure, but probably next week, we might as well do the subnetting. Okay, we might as well do the subnetting next week. Now, if you want to, like now, I'm not sure if the window is visible. If you click on the component, it will give you the details, okay? It will give you the details. So for now, let me, okay. For now, I want to delete this one. I want to delete this. Do you know how I have gotten this one of deleting? I have pressed the delete key from the keyboard. Okay. I've pressed the delete key from the keyboard. So this one, you see, this, do you see the symbol that I'm moving around? That one, the delete is active now, such that if there is any component that you wanted to delete, you just click on it and it will disappear. You just click on it and it will be deleted. The only way now you can exit the deleting is now you press escape. When you press escape, it disappears. When you press the delete key from the keyboard, it comes back. So it allows you to delete anything you click. If you want to exit, you press escape. Okay. So you will find that you have different, like now, if you want components from here, from here, from here, okay, from miscellaneous, these are other components and so on and so forth. So for our case, we've been told to go to end devices. I think that is what we've been told in the lab manual. Select end devices from the options in the bottom left corner. We've gone there. Drag and drop two generic PCs, that is PC, PT, onto the logical workspace. So we come back here. There are usually two areas. There is the physical. Are you seeing the physical workspace? The physical. And then there is the logical. You come to the logical. So under logical here, we've been told we go to end devices. Then we've been told to pick what? Generic PC. Generic PC is the PC PT. You drag and put there. This is the generic what? PC. Now there are two ways. You can either drag two and put here, meaning you drag one at a time, or once you put this one here, you just click on it, then you press Control C, it will copy. You just click, when it is there, just click on it once. When you click on it once, it is already selected, so you press Control C, it is copied, then you press Control V, it is pasted. Have you seen that? Okay. And if you don't want to use that, you drag them one by one. Like we had already dragged the first one, you come here and again, drag a second one, and you come and put it there. So we have PC0, PC1. We've already put them there, so we can go back to the instructions. Select connections from the bottom left hand corner, okay? Then choose a copper straight through cable type, okay? Then click the first host, which is PC0, and assign the cable to the first Ethernet connector, okay? Are we together there? Please take note of those steps. I don't know how you will master those steps because I want to let's master those steps because I want to run through a couple of steps without coming back to this document. Okay, apologies about that. There's some communication I was attending to. Sorry about that. So we were building our network. We've put 2 hosts, PC1, PC0, and PC number 1. We've been told to go to the connections. Connections is here. This is the connection. So you click on connections, they will appear here. We've been told to go for copper. Is it copper straight through? This one. Are you seeing copper straight through? Click, yes, click on it. After clicking on it, you come and click the first PC, which is PC what? PC number 0. So click the first PC. When you click, the drop down will appear here. RS232, USB 0, USB 1. We go to fast Ethernet because we've been told to select fast Ethernet, isn't it? So we assign fast Ethernet. I hope members you're seeing what I'm doing. I'm building the network.
Yes.
Yes, then we go with it. Then we go with it. We click what? We click the other PC, which is the second host, isn't it? So you come and click it. After clicking it, we have not completed the connection. We were told in the instructions that PC number 1 should also be assigned fast Ethernet, isn't it?
Yes.
You come and click fast Ethernet. We have made the connection. If you choose a wrong type of cable, there will be no communication. Okay. So that way now we have wired PC number 0 to PC number 1. Using what? Using basically the copper cable there is Cat5 cable. Basically what we have used there is a Cat5 cable, and the connection that we have used there is the copper straight through a connection, which is usually suitable for connecting 2 PCs together. Okay, but maybe if it was for a LAN connection, you can go for the crossover connection. Okay, you can go for the crossover what? Connection. Okay. Now you see, are you seeing the red dots?
Yes.
Okay. It means that that is an incorrect cable type. Okay. That is an incorrect cable type. Okay. So let's click on this one. Do you see this one here? Let's click on it. Okay. When you click on that, it will allow us to delete that connection, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. But for the time being, let me not delete it. Let me not delete it so that we go back to the instructions. We see what instructions are saying. So the instructions are saying, click the second host PC1 and assign the cable to the first Ethernet connector. The red dots indicate an incorrect cable type. I think I've mentioned about that. Click the red X on the right-hand side of the packet tracer. This will allow you to delete the copper straight through cable, but we have not deleted it. We will delete it. Move the cursor to the cable and click the cable to delete it. Choose a copper crossover cable. Choose a copper crossover cable type. Okay. Choose a copper crossover cable type. Okay. So then after we have selected we've changed to copper crossover cable type, then we will, of course, we will now make the connection just the same way we did. We click PC1, set to fast Ethernet, then PC number 1, fast Ethernet. Then now we expect green dots to appear to indicate that now that's the correct word, the correct cable type. Okay. So in short, I think what we're trying to say here is that the copper straight through connection cannot be used to connect 2 PCs together. For us to connect two pieces together, we will need to use the copper crossover. Okay, the copper crossover. So the procedure said we click this. If you click this, then it will allow us to delete. It will allow us to delete the cable. Okay, so I'm pressing delete. When I press delete, I've deleted the cable. Then I press escape. Then we've been told to go to copper crossover. Click copper crossover. Click the first PC. Set first Ethernet. Come with it here. Click here. Set first Ethernet. And now using the green dots.
Yes.
Now that is a correct cable type. That's a correct what? Cable type. And it is possible now to establish communication between these two computers in our what? In our network. Okay. Then we can now go to the next procedure. We are done with step number 1. So we can go to the next procedure. Configure host names and IP addresses on the PCs. So we want to do configuration. I have said next week I will teach maybe next week I think I should teach how to set these IP addresses and how to do subnetting. Okay. And how to do subnetting. I think if time will allow, I think we'll cover it next week. So click PC0. A PC0 window will appear. Then from the PC0 window, select the config tab, change the PC display name to PCA, select the first Ethernet tab on the left. Then type the IP address we've been given there and subnet mask this one. I will teach subnetting next week. The theory of subnetting I will teach next week, but it causes no harm to also start with practical, because if we start with practical, then the practical will also reinforce theory, because a theory class can be boring without practice. So it causes no harm. Even though it is coming early, it causes no harm. Okay, then subnet mask this one in the IP configuration section. Close the PCA configuration window by selecting the X in the upper right-hand corner. Click PC1, a PC1 window will appear. From the PC1 window, select the config tab. Again, change the PC display name to PC number B. Then select the first Ethernet tab on the left, type the IP address, this one here, and the subnet mask, this one in the IP configuration section. Close the PCB configuration window by selecting the X in the upper right-hand corner. So members, we are doing configuration of the two hosts on the network by using the IP addresses. So basically we want to configure our network. We've done the physical design where the PCs have already been mounted. We have done cabling. We've done cabling. We've already done the cabling, isn't it? But there's still no communication that can take place because we've not configured the network. Okay, we've not what? We've not configured the network. So can we configure the network quickly? First time is not on our side. Can we configure the network quickly?
Yes.
Yes, yes. And let's go back to our diagram and configure the network. So we were told you can start here, just double click, just click on it once. Then this dialog box will appear. I'm not sure whether it is visible from your end. Is it visible from your end?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, so it has got different areas: the physical area, the config area, the desktop area, the programming area. Okay. Like if your approach to designing the network is via programming, okay, then you will be working with this area here. Okay, like if you want to create a new program, you just click new. If you are designing it from the desktop point of view, okay, then you will come here. There are some tools here like email. I'm going to teach email, by the way. If you look at the theory that we have now, you will see email somewhere. Where is the theory? if you look at the theory, you will see are you seeing email? Yes, email is here and the email protocols. Yeah, so email is there. Okay, and this is the next item that we'll be looking at in theory. So let me go back here. If I come back here. Okay. Sorry. Let me come back here. So you click on this. When you click on it, I hope the window is visible. So this one is under desktop. So there are other things that you can access here. The web browser, okay. Virtual private network, PC wireless connection, email, PPO, power over Ethernet dialer, text editor, firewall. Like this is a firewall for IPv. For firewall is for security. Okay. Then this is IPv6 what? Firewall. Okay. And you can configure them. This is Bluetooth. This is Internet over Thing monitor. Internet over Thing integrated development what? Environment. User apps manager. Okay, and so on and so on. So for us, we've been told to go to the configuration part because we want to configure the network. And we were told to change the name to this one. We were told to change to A. Am I right?
Yes.
Yes, so we can change this one to A. Okay. We change that one to A. Here, let us just leave it as Ethernet because, of course, we can't change it because we had already set it earlier on, so it will remain as fast Ethernet. Then the gateway, we had already talked about gateway in class, and we know where we can use gateway, where we can use a router, where we can use a bridge, where we can use a switch. The domain name service, IPv4, had already introduced the theory of IPv4. Okay. So remember here, the first Ethernet, okay? The first Ethernet here, this one remains by default. Now let's come to the first, let me come to the first Ethernet here. If I click on this, let me click on that. If I click on the first Ethernet, now I want us to type the IP address. Okay. Okay. Now, you see there is the media access control address, which we usually type here, or we usually put here. I'd already taught about the 12-digit numbers and the meaning, what represents the manufacturer and what represents the equipment ID. I'd already taught that one in theory. Okay. So suppose if you are using dynamic, you will click on this one. It will not allow you to type any IP address here. But for us, let us use what? Let us use static, and under IPv what? Under IPv4 here. Okay. You can come and type. We were given the IP address. It was 192. Sorry, 192 dot
68.
168. Yes, .1.1. And we were also given, we will calculate our subnet numbers ourselves in future. We were given the subnet mask number. You see, it has come automatically, isn't it? But we were also given that it ought to have been 255.255.255.0, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, I will show you how we generate these numbers. Like this is the first 8 bits, next 8 bits, next 8 bits, then the last one here we put 0. I will show you how we interpret how we create the subnets. the subnets. We will do that. Then we can close the configuration. We have already configured this, so we can close, isn't it? So let us just close that. Then we go to PC number what? PC number 1. Let us change. We were told to change the name for this one to B. To B.
To be.
Yes, to B. Then we can go to just the same way as we did there. We can select the first Ethernet tab. Then we come and type the IP address for this one was now the last number will be 2 now, isn't it? 1.
Yes.
Yes,
192.
192. Dot.
168.
168.
168.
Dot 1 dot 2, isn't it? Because the other one was 1. So this one will be 2. And the subnet mask number will be the same, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, it will be
Yes.
the same. Anything else we need to configure here? Have we been told to configure anything else, so that is enough?
No, it's okay.
Okay, then we close. Okay. So let's go back to the instructions and see. Okay. So we've done the configuration. Yes, we've done the configuration. So yeah, close the PCB. Now number 3, create a network diagram with 2 PCs and what? And a hub. Of course, this one is something else. Now, if you come here, where is it? This network is now properly what? Configured. Eh? This network here is now properly what? Configured. Okay. If I come here and click on the simulation button and then click on of course, there might not be anything much that we can simulate here. Okay. But of course, there are some later on that which will be able to run. If you come under physical here, let me just go back to the network. Let me just confirm the configurations are captured. Then for this one, let me confirm as they are captured. Okay. So with that, it is now possible for this PC and this PC to be able to communicate with one another. It's possible for them to communicate with one another. Okay, it's possible for them to communicate with one another. Okay, so let me go back to the lab manual and see which other activities are remaining. So step number 3, in step 1, 2 computers were connected using the copper crossover cable type. This type of connection is a simple way to interconnect 2 computers. Use a hub to connect 2 or more computers. So begin this new configuration by using the red X on the right side of packet tracer to delete the copper crossover cable type connecting PCA to PCB. Okay, and I usually prefer, maybe sometimes you can save your network somewhere. Just save it somewhere. Maybe if you want to refer to it in future, just save it somewhere. Okay, just save it somewhere. Just save it somewhere. Okay. So we've been told to delete this. We've been told to delete this. So I've deleted that. And we can come back to instructions. Sorry about that. Let me stop the sharing and share a new screen. This one here. Now. So here, what have we been told? There are a couple of steps here, which I will run through quickly. So we've been told to delete that, okay, connecting PCA and PCB. Then select hubs from the options in the bottom left-hand corner, okay. Then drag and drop a generic hub PT onto the logical workspace. Select connections from the bottom left-hand corner. Choose a copper crossover cable type. Click the first host PCA and assign the cable to the first Ethernet connector. Click the hub 0 or hub number 0 and select a connection port 0 to connect to PCA. The red dots indicate the wrong cable type. Click the red X on the right-hand side of packet tracer and delete the copper crossover cable. Choose a copper straight-through cable type. Click the first host PCA and assign the cable to the first Ethernet connector. Click the hub 0 and click port 0 to connect to PCA. Click the copper straight-through cable to type again. Click the copper straight-through cable type again. Click the second the second host PCB and assign the cable to the first Ethernet connector. Click the hub 0 and click port 1 to connect to PCB. Okay, members, there are so many steps there, but I want to summarize. What am I sharing? So there are so many steps there, but I want to summarize. What we want to do is simple. We don't want now to connect PCA and PCB directly. Okay? We don't want to connect them what? Directly. Now we want to connect them through a hub, because a hub will allow us to connect multiple computers, isn't it? So what we have been told in the instructions is we've already deleted the cable that we had there. Okay. So we can go to hubs from the bottom here, end devices. Note, it should be a network device. Hub is a network device. I'm looking for the hub. That's a router. Sometimes the names will not appear automatically, so you may have to click. I'm looking for the hub. Oh, let me come down here. Yeah, it's here. The hub is here. We were told to go for the generic hub, so you can click that. You come and put it there. That is hub PT number 0. We put it there. And what we now need to go to connections at the bottom. So let's go to connections. Okay. Then we go for here. Now we need to go for copper crossover. Copper crossover is this, but we know it will not work. Let's go for copper crossover, but we know it will not work. So we'll change it to copper straight through. So copper crossover, click this, select first Ethernet, click what? This, okay. Then here, I'd already mentioned about this first Ethernet connections. Let me go for maybe say number 1. Are you seeing the red dots? Are you seeing the red dots?
Yes.
Yes, you can see.
It means it is a wrong connection, isn't it? So you can't use that kind of cable or physical connection between the PC and the hub there. So we delete it. I've deleted it. Then can we change it to copper straight through? So we come and pick copper straight through. Pick copper straight through, click here. Select first Ethernet, come click here. Then select what? fast Ethernet. Maybe I can even just go for 0. Are you seeing the green dots?
Yes.
Now it means the cable type is correct, isn't it? Okay.
Okay, I'm fine.
Now, the next item that we need to do is this. Now we've connected the first PC to the hub. We now need to connect the hub to the other PC, isn't it? Okay, so we can click on the hub. Just a minute. We can click on the connection first. We still, we can use which cable here? Still copper straight through, isn't it? So we can go for copper straight through, click here. Then you can just select this. Come, click here. That. Okay. Now for this hub, port number 0 has already been used. Now that's why this one has been connected to port number 1. Because port number 0 has already been used. Okay. Okay. Port number 0 has already been used. Okay. So we are using port number 1 to connect to PC number B. Okay. You can see the IP address there, because that is using IPv4 is the one we've set there. IPv number 6 is not set. PV number 6 is not set. Okay, so we've done that. So the hub is there. So let's go back to the instructions and see what is next. So I think we've done all this up to here. We now go to step number 4. So I've already shown how we can connect a hub. We can build a network that has a hub. Now we can go to the last step, which concludes the lab exercise. Replace the hub by a switch. You see here now the connection is right because we have green dots everywhere. We have what? We have green dots everywhere. So the connection is right. Okay. Now, assuming you wanted to build a bigger network, and then you copy this and then put here, and maybe add another one here. Let me bring this one here. Let me bring this one here. Let me bring this one here. Then you'll just come and pick the copper straight through. Then you come, click here. Now we had already used 0 and 1, isn't it? So the next one available is number 2, isn't it? Which is the third port. So port number 2, click that. Come here, click there. Then you go for fast Ethernet connection. Come, click copper here. Now will be port number 3, isn't it? Please, members, are you seeing how I'm building the network? Are you seeing how I'm building the network? Yes. And the last PC that we can connect looking at this hub. So this hub has got how many ports? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We had used the first port to connect to the first PC here, and then the other 5 ports to connect these other 5 PC. Now this hub is full. Have you seen that, members? That hub is now full. Even if you were to pick here, like if you pick, let's say you pick the straight through, you come with it here, you click, you see, are you seeing no available ports?
Yes.
Yes, so like if you are in an organization and you have been adding more devices to a network, it is always advisable that you go to the design and you update your design so that you don't have to walk physically around in the organization to determine if switches are fully loaded or hubs are fully loaded or not. You will, by just logging into your computer and looking at your design, you will know whether you still have maybe free switch ports to extend the network or hub ports to extend the network, or your network is fully packed, so that you advise the management or the procurement to add you more networking devices. Then you configure them. And have you seen how configuration is straightforward? Yes, it's straightforward. It's straightforward. You will hear of these terms in the industry: configuring network, doing what, okay? Already, when I will teach you subnetting, you will already know, given a particular IP address and the site, you will know the maximum number of hosts that you can connect. Like through that subnetting, we'll be able to determine, for example, if we can support a maximum of 100 hosts. So that by the time you get to 100 computers, you will know that the network resources you have now will not allow you to connect more than 100 hosts or computers. So you'll tell your organization clearly that the networking equipment that we have can only support up to a maximum number of this number of users or hosts. And beyond that, we'll have to procure additional equipment. Okay. So I'm pressing Control I'm pressing Control Z. I had pressed and Control Z to undo, but I can also just press delete. Then I delete this, I delete this, I delete this, and then I leave only that one. But now in the next step, we've been told now to go for the switch. We've been told now to replace the hub with what? With the switch. Again, members, let us quickly run through what? Let us quickly run through the instructions. If you follow the steps here keenly, now you will be able to even do lab practical exercise number 3, because I have already given the steps. I've already given the steps. And when you follow the steps in the software, it will do exactly what you want. So in step number 3, you created a network with a hub. While this network is functional, its performance could be improved by using a switch instead of a hub. Remember, we said a hub is not intelligent, isn't it? But a switch is intelligent. Okay. A switch usually has got a routing table where it has got the IP addresses of different devices connected to it. And so it is not just going to blindly broadcast or route the packets or the data packets. But instead, what the switch will be doing is that the switch will also be understanding, or it is intelligent. It is trying to look at the frames, look at the data packets before it routes them. Are we together there? So we are now going, let's go for the switch now. So select the hub and click on the red X located on the right-hand side of the packet tracer. Yes, so that way we are going to delete the hub, and we're also going to delete the cables. Okay. Now we want to replace with the switch. We want to replace with the switch. So the procedure is given there. I'm not going to go through the procedure. I want to go to the software straight away. Have we taken note of the procedure there so that we can now proceed to the software?
Yes.
Okay, good. So let's go to the software. Now we want to delete the hub. So you click on that. You say yes. So we've deleted it. Then we can come down here to components, and then we go for the switch. So under network devices, the switch is here. There are different types of switches. We can just go for the, we've been told to go for the 2950. Let's look 2950-24 switch. This one here. So you click on it, drag and put there. We've already been told to go for the 2950-24 switch. The second number there, 24, means the total number of ports we have in the switch. So it will be a 24-way switch. It means that we have a total number of 24 ports. Those are first Ethernet ports. I'm not sure whether the pop-up is visible from your end. Is the pop-up visible?
Yeah.
You can see, yes, you can see the ports listed there.
Yes.
Yes. Now the kind of, or the type of link we can see is a downlink. Okay, meaning it will of course allow us to connect. We will have one incomer. Okay, we'll have one incomer, and then we can have multiple outgoers, which can allow us to establish internet connectivity to different host devices via this switch. You can see the area or the field where we will need to set the IP address. In this case, they're still blank because we have not created our network. But for every PC that we will add onto the network via the switch, we will need to set the IP address. Okay. Set the IP address so we can continue. Now, I want to ask a question here. Remember when we connected the one PC to another PC, we noted that the correct cable type was the copper crossover. When we connected a hub to a PC, we noted that the correct cable type was the copper straight through, isn't it?
Yes.
Now I have a question here. What do you think is the correct cable type to connect a switch to a PC or connect a switch to different PCs in the network? Are we going to go for copper straight through or copper crossover?
Copper straight through.
Yes, copper straight through, correct. Because just as it was the case with the hub, even for connecting the switch to the PCs here, we will still use the copper straight through. And so we already know where we get the connections. So you come here under connections, then we go for copper straight through. You click copper straight through. Okay. Then we go to PC number A, click here. Then you select first Ethernet number 0. Okay. Then you come with it here. Click here. Now you see you have all the 24 ports. Are you seeing the 24 ports?
Yes.
Yes. And now you will see the incomer. The incomer is first Ethernet number 0, which is port 0. Okay. Then you will start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You go up to the 24. So it is usually advisable that when you are building a network, for ease of configuring the network and also for ease of growing the network, it is advisable that we use the switch ports in ascending order. Like if you use number 1, then the next available should be number 2, number 3, and so on and so forth. I'm not saying that if you skip it will not work. No, it will still work provided you configure the right one, the right port. Okay, but you see, it is always good practice to try and organize your network resources in a manner that is well planned, a manner that even if it is not the person who designed the network, if they are the ones who are supposed to interact with the network or use the network in future, then they can of course see that the network was built in a systematic way. So in this particular case, therefore, we can go for, let me go for number 1 here. Okay. Let me go for number 1. Okay. There's some small issue there.
Instruction says the red dot will appear in a few minutes.
In a
The
few
green
minutes. Okay, okay. And let's give it time. It says it will disappear in a few minutes.
The green dot will appear in a few minutes.
Okay, okay. Then let's give it time. Like about a minute, isn't it? Remember, we've connected to switch port number 1.
I think the computer to create a network.
Sorry?
I think it should also be connected to another computer to create a network.
So we continue.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can pick the copper straight through, click here. We now go for number 2. Then we go there, connect it there. Are we okay with that?
Yes, it's fine.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good. So let me go back to the instructions we see. So we've been told to click the switch number 0, click first Ethernet number 2 to connect to PC number B. We've already done that. Click the check results button at the bottom of this instruction window to verify that the topology is correct. Huh? Okay, good. So now we have all the green buttons everywhere, or the green dots everywhere. Okay, so the network is up. Okay, the network is up. Yes, so that way the network is up. Now suppose I click this one here, then copy, Control C, then let me clear that. Then put this one here, put this one here, put this one here. Let me just put 4 devices. Then I can come click this one here, come pick this one, connect there. Okay. Then I come pick this one again, click here, pick the next port, connect. Then I come pick this one here, click here, connect. Okay. Okay. Then of course we will give it time. Then they will change to green dots. Okay. So this way now you find that you can now be able to add more devices to the network. We'll be able to add more devices to the network, provided that we have sufficient ports on the switch here. Okay. And if you wanted to configure the switch, let's say you come to port number 1. If you come to port number 1, you'll be able to check on a few things there. Okay. Here we put auto. Okay. Here we had put auto, but you can also go manual. If you go manual, it can allow you to edit a few things here and there. Okay. But if you go auto, like now, this one is 100 Mbps. This one is 10 Mbps. Okay. This is half duplex. This is full duplex. Half duplex means that when it is sending data packets, it's not able to receive at the same time, or the communication will be one instant at a time, but the full duplex is two-way. Okay. A to B and B to A. Obviously. Okay. If you click on auto, it will do the auto configurations. Okay.
Your screen is not displaying.
My screen is not displaying. Or the pop-up is not displaying. Sorry. Now is the pop-up displaying?
Yes, yes.
Okay, good. So you can click this one. If you want to go the manual route, then you will now be setting everything here manual. Okay. We had already talked about, you remember the FDDI, which we did in theory, the token ring, which we did in theory. You remember them? Yes, those ones you can always set them there. Okay. If you select auto, now it will not be what? If you select auto, then it will of course put now this for you automatically. Okay, if you select auto, okay. If you deselect this, you can select full duplex or half what duplex. And if you want to see details, you just check down here. It will give you what? It will give you details. Okay. Just select what? Down there. Okay. If you want to change the access type to trunk, you can also change there. Okay. But in this case, you can just leave as a. Now there are so many things. If you want here, okay. If you want to put VLAN number, you can put there. The VLAN name, you can put there. Then you click on add. Okay. If you want to delete, you just click on remove. Okay. Now take note that there are different types of course here, which we've mentioned about. So you can also select them from here. You can select default, and select this, you can select this, you can select this, you can select that. Okay, so assuming you select maybe default there, then you just let it to be default. You just click add. Okay. So that is if you click the switch here, then that window will pop up. Okay. And then it will allow you to do what? It will allow you to make those additions or make those configurations on the switch. Okay. Okay. You just come to VLAN what database here, and then you can do what? You can make those additions. So I have, I think the green dots are there. Okay. Green dots are there. So I think we're okay with that. Okay. There are still some other items which we will be configuring on the PCs, which will be coming ahead. Okay. There's some things which we'll be configuring here, like the DHCP. Okay. Here we can go the automatic route, or we can go the manual route. Okay. Okay. And so on and so forth. So if you come here, for example, okay, this one we had already configured. Okay. If you come to this PC here, you can also configure it. Okay, can also configure it. Like if you come here, you can put the IP address, okay, the default gateway number, the DNS server number, or you can go the automatic. Okay. If you come here, okay, you can go the manual route, put them there, or you can go the automatic. Okay. Like now, if this one here has, if you come here, this one has 192.168.1.2. So if I copy that one from there, assuming we wanted to configure this, we will come here and give it this, give it 3. Okay, then it will pick the subnet mask number automatically for us. Okay, if I want to configure this other one, I will come here, click this, come to first Ethernet, then put this one as 4. Put that one as 4. Come here, configure this one. Put this one as 5. So the network is fully configured. The network is fully what? Configured. And as you can see, all the links are up, and therefore it is possible to transfer data between this device here and the other devices in the network. We will always notice that sometimes this one we can build it to be the server in a client server model. Okay. Then now this one here, this one will be client. This one will be client number 2. This one will be client number 3. And this one will be client number 4.
Would you please open the physical in the physical presentation, not logic?
Oh, the city one.
Yeah, you just open in physical because we're in logical.
And this is the physical. There's not much that you'll see under physical, eh? As you can see, there are some features which are hidden, eh?
Yes.
Under physical. So like now, this one is the main wiring what? Closet, eh? Which if I click, are you seeing the cables, the representations for the cables?
Yes.
Yes. So the representations for the cables. This is a wiring closet, eh? As you can see, I'm not sure whether it is visible, but as you can see, this switch here has got 24 ports, and we have used the first 5 ports here, and they are light, they are green. Eh? We've used the first 5 ports. So as you add devices to the network, you'll be filling these ports. Eh?
Yes.
Yes, you'll be filling those ports. So you can go back there. You can always go back. Okay. You come to corporate office here, that's where you'll find them. Okay. Yes, that's where you'll find them. You can always also scroll here. Okay, so that is how the physical layout of the network looks like. Eh? If you click this one here,
Yes.
it will still take you back to what we had under logical. It will still take you back to what we had logical. for the protocol data unit window, the PDU window, it's the list window, assuming that you are transmitting the data packets through the network, then you will have now a log here. Under the PDU list window, you will have a log here, okay? Specifying where the data packet is originating from, where it is heading to, the type of the data packet, and some other attributes, okay? So you'll always find that the list will be given there, and it can give you maybe an overview of what is going on through what? Through the network, okay? Okay, you can always adjust these windows. You can always adjust what? Those windows. Okay, if you want everything to be in real time, you click real time here. If it is a network that you want to run the simulation, you will come and usually run the simulation using this button. Using this button. It's the one that usually used to do what? To run the simulation. If you want to reset the simulation, you come here. Okay. If you want to run, you run it with that. Okay. So I think now we should be able to handle that practical lab exercise. If you come to view here, you can also go to like simulation mode, real time, logical view, physical view, show viewport, show workspace list, okay, and so on, okay. If you come to window here, you can go to full screen. If you come to extensions here, there are certain things that you can also access from there, okay. You come to tools here, certain things you can access. You come to options here, certain things you can access, edit, and then file. So basically, these are the main areas of this particular application, and using it is straightforward. Using it is quite straightforward. So I have some questions here. What are the factors to be considered when creating a simple computer network such as that using 2 hosts? What is the importance of using the correct cable type to connect the PCs? Compare key performance features of a wireless connection of 2 or more PCs to the wired connection of the same. Explain briefly how this simple network can be extended or modified to create a local area network. So the reference is Cisco Networking Academy Program, IT Essentials, version 5.0 Student Packet Tracer Manual 2013. Is the one that's the document I've used to develop this manual or to develop this work. So after you have done the lab practical exercise and you have run through the activities, then you will need to answer these questions. Yesterday, I think I had shared with the class rep the structure of a lab practical exercise. And you will find that most of the information is already available on the lab manual itself. For example, the title is there, the objective is there, and then these activities or the procedure is what you will capture under methodology, because I've already given you clear steps that you need to follow in undertaking each of the lab exercises. Now is the lab practical exercise number 3 shared visible from your end?
Yes.
Okay, so the title for lab practical exercise number 3 is adding computers to an existing network. Okay. adding computers to an existing network. Okay. So we have 4 main objectives here. The first one is to configure the computers to use the DHCP. To configure static addressing is where we usually put the IP address manually. So you need to know the correct IP address to key in, but this one will be done dynamically. To apply IP config command to retrieve the host IP information, and then to use ping to verify connectivity. So those are the 4 main items for this lab practical exercise. Okay. So this particular practical lab exercise will allow us to be able to configure computers in a branch office network. We will assume that this company we are looking at uses 2 DHCPs for dynamic addressing of all the PCs. Okay. So we can go to step number 1. We begin by studying the topology. Now the topology we have here is one that has got 2 PCs. There is a switch, there is a server, there's a router, and there is a cloud. Okay. And there's a cloud. Okay. There are PCs. There's a switch, there's a server, there's a router, and there's a cloud. So can we begin by building the network? Yes, let's begin by building the network. So I will go to the software. Let me just save this one somewhere. Put version number 2 there. So I will delete the other pieces. So let me just press delete key. Then delete this. And delete this. Press escape. So we need 2 PCs. We need a server. We need a router. There's a router. These are wireless devices. We need a cloud also, so you can pick a cloud. I'm going for the generic cloud. Then we need a server. We need a server. I can put a server there. And we need a router. Where's the router? Router, we can go for the generic router. Okay. And a switch is also there. So let me go back to the instructions. So we need 2 PCs. We need a switch, a server, a router, and a cloud. Okay. So let's begin by looking at the 2 PCs. We connect the 2 PCs to the branch switch using straight through cables. Okay. So in packet tracer, the solid lines represent Ethernet straight through what? Links. And I think that is what we already have. So this is the branch office switch. We're assuming that this is the branch what? Office switch. So we've connected this PC to the switch and this other PC to the switch by using what? The copper straight through cables. The next item we go to So notice the green dots on each side of the straight through links next to each PC and next to the branch switch. Green dots on both sides of the link indicate that we have selected the correct cable type and that it is possible to have a transmission between the first PC and the switch and the other PC and the switch. Okay. You might also find yourself in a situation where not there. Okay. Okay. So if assuming that those green dots are not there, then this is what you do. You go to options. Under options, you go to preferences, and then you put show link lights. Okay. You just come here, options, preferences. Is it visible? Then you
Yes.
come here. Yes. You come here.
Yes.
Then you show. Do you see the one I've checked here? Show link lights.
Yes.
Yes. If you want to show port labels in the logical workspace, you check that. Okay. Then we can step number 2. Can we do the configuration using the DHCP? So we can come here. We can click the first PC. Maybe I can name it PC number 0 to align it with what we have in lab practical exercise number 3. Then come name this one back to PC number 1 and close there. Okay. So let's click PC number 0. I've clicked PC number 0. I'm not sure if the pop-up window is visible. Is it visible from your end?
Yes, it's visible.
It's visible. Now you can use the config tab, yes, but for this case, so that I show something different, let me go for the desktop. Are we under the desktop area? Are you seeing the desktop area?
Yes.
Is it visible?
Yes, it's visible.
Yes, yes, good. Then we go to IP config. Have you seen where I've gone to IP config? Then,
Yes.
then we select DHCP. When you select DHCP, you see everything here now is deactivated, so you can't set manually, okay?
Oh.
Yes, but if you wanted to configure the network manually, you click here. It will disable DHCP. So you'll need like for IPv4, you'll put the IP address there, the subnet mask number there, okay? Gateway, if you're using the default, the domain name, okay? System server, okay, you put there, or the domain name service, you put here. If you're using IPv6 configuration, then you can come and put here the IP address and IPv6 manually. But the moment you click this one here, now it will disable, so you are not able to do what? You are not able to configure this one here. I had already taught members about this standard, the IEEE 802.1x standard. Okay, I already mentioned about it. Okay, if you want to use the security feature, which is under this standard, you check this and you specify the authentication type here. Like now in this case, it will be MD5, and we are not able to change it. Then now, assuming you wanted to have a network, you want maybe to create a password for accessing the network, okay? For accessing using the devices to connect to the network. Then you will put the username here and you'll put a password there. But if you don't want to do that, you just uncheck that. That way you are not able to work. You are not able to create any password here. But if you check this one here, it will allow you to do what? To create what? To create a password. And creating a password is possible whether you have gone for this or you have gone for DHCP. The fact that you have gone for DHCP does not mean you now cannot put a password. You can still put a password by checking this. But if you uncheck this, you will not be able to do what? You will not be able to put any password. Okay, so in our case, we have been told that we check the DHCP. Okay. So when you click the DHCP, this one will now allow the first PC, which is PC number 0, to act as if it is now a DHCP client in the network. Okay. The meaning of a DHCP client in the network members is that this one will be able to receive IP addresses automatically without us having to configure it manually. Okay, so the IP address configuration information will be created dynamically or will be received dynamically from a DHCP server. Okay, and if you look at the network, maybe let me just close this window. If you look at the network, if I come here, you see this PC number 0 is the one that we have configured using the DHCP approach. So this one, we are now not going to set the IP addresses manually, but instead it will receive the IP addresses dynamically from a DHCP server, if we assume that this is a client. So if we assume it is a DHCP client, it should be able to receive now IP address information or configuration details automatically from a DHCP what? Server. Okay, so let me click this one here again. Then let me share the pop-up and the pop-up window. I come to IP config. Usually, there is a message that you should see. Suppose you are here. Then you come and click DHCP. You see requesting IP address, are you seeing that? Requesting IP address, are you seeing that?
Yes, yes.
Yes. If the connection is established, it should tell you request successful. Okay. It should tell you request what? Successful. If the network is wired properly, yes, if the network is wired properly, it will tell you that that one is what? Is successful. Okay. So let's have that one there. Okay. I think I've already mentioned about this. You want to put the username and the password. Okay. We're just about to stop. So if I come back to the instructions here, So we've been told to click PC number 0, okay? And now we select the desktop, we've done that. We've gone to IP config, selected the DHCP, okay? Okay. Yeah, request successful. CP, request what? Successful. Then we can continue. We can continue. So we've been told to close the PC number 0 configuration window. Then we go to PC number 1, do the same thing. So we can go to PC number 1, do the same thing. So let me go back. Okay. If you click this one here for PC number 0, then you come to IP config. Are you seeing now it is no longer requesting? Are you seeing it is no longer requesting? Meaning it was successful. If we stayed on the window, we would have seen the message, request what? Successful. I'm not sure whether the pop-up window I've shared is visible. Is it visible?
Yes.
So it is
Yes.
successful.
Yes, redo.
Huh?
Redo.
No, if we redo it will, unless if you are willing to stay slightly longer, if we redo it, it will delay us in configuring the second one. We just redo.
Yes.
Okay. Assuming we were at static where we need to configure the network manually, isn't it? And give IP addresses ourselves. But we now go the dynamic route and click that. Then it will display here requesting IP address. We give it time. 1 minute to 2 minutes. Huh? Or sometimes even slightly less than that. Let's give it time. It will tell us that the request is successful. But if you choose a wrong type of cable there, it will fail. If you have a wrong connection between the switch and the PCs, it will also fail. They're still requesting the IP address. I didn't want us to give it more than 2 minutes. You see, it is taking a couple of seconds, huh? Okay, it has concluded. Eh? It has concluded. So let's go to the other one. So click this one here. Let me share the screen. we come to desktop, IP configuration, we do the same thing. We click that one. Okay, then we can close that. So this one will act as a DHCP client. This one will act as a DSP, a DHCP client in the network. Okay. Then the next item we can check from the steps there. So we have done this, we've configured the DHCP on both PCs, for both PC number 0 and PC number 1. And then we can now come to the other part here. Can come to the other part here. We want to observe the IP configuration information that is assigned to each PC. Okay. So I'm going to click PC number 0, then select desktop tab, then I click command prompt. Then at the PC prompt, we are going to enter this command. Okay. So let me go back to the software. So I come here. Then we start by selecting PC number 0. Then we go to desktop. So let me share the window. Then we go to desktop. Then under desktop, we go to command prompt. You see here, you go to command prompt. Are you seeing the command prompt window and how I've reached it?
Yes.
Yes. Then there, I want to put the command is IP config. We want to configure all of them, isn't it? Then we enter. Sorry, it is not accepting that. Is still not accepting that command. It's also not accepting it from that side. PC number 0, we go to desktop, we go to command prompt, then we enter this command. Because we needed to have accessed the IP address, the subnet mask number, default gateway, the DNS server address, okay? Okay, then record this one for PC number 1 as well. And using the ping command, test the 3, connectivity, test the layer 3 connectivity. Let me try if this one will work. The address for this one is the address for this one is I've seen what is also happening here now. Okay. I'm not sure whether this one captured them.
In this number, the number is the red dot text on the right side of the bucket. Press up to delete the code across the symbol type.
Still not accepting that. Yeah. At this point, then I think we will continue with them from here, okay? We will continue with them from here. But at least so far, we are comfortable with lab practical exercise number 1. We are comfortable with lab practical exercise number 2. And for this lab practical exercise number 3, we have done it up to step number 2, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
Yes, so we will pick up from there. Probably we will connect the server. Okay, like this one is the server. We will connect the cloud and we will connect the router. Okay. Yes, we'll connect the server. We'll connect. We'll connect this. Let me just save it somewhere. Those who had not typed their admission numbers and names on the chat area can do that. Then we will continue from there. So the cut will cover up to what we had done last week.